Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashanteye. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Kanchi Vasaya Dhimahi Tanno Chandrasekharav Prachodayat. Om Pranavami Dakshinamurti Vyasa Shankara Rupinam Jyotirmayam Gurum Srimad Chandrasekhara Saraswatim. Om Shruti Smriti Purananamayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Om Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Aspadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Dattatreya Samarambam Nrisimhadika Madhyamam Sachidananda Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Dattatreya Samarambam Nrisimhadika Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, let's get started. We have only very limited attendance today, but that is fine. I think people will join, I guess. So till now, what we really saw was we went through the first 10 shlokas in Subrahmanya Bhujangam. So in up to shloka number 8, I said, it's kind of like a meditative. Even the 9th one is meditative in nature. But from the 9th one onwards, Acharya is has started the prayer on the angas, different parts of the body of Subrahmanya. So in the 9th shloka, he was making the shloka towards the feet, the Pada Padma. Okay, Ranadhamsake Manjule Atyanta Shone. That particular shloka is about the Pada Padma of Subrahmanya. The next shloka was on the Kati. Suvarna Bhadivyambarair Bhasamana Kvanat Kinkini Mekhala Shobhamanam Lasadema Pattena Vidyotamanam Katim Bhavaye Skandate Deepyamanam. Like that we went through the Kati. Okay, which is like the hip portion of the shloka. Now, that was the 10th shloka. Now the 11th shloka, what we are going to see today is about the chest of the Lord. Okay, so in this shloka, he is also going to bring in Valli. We are going to, like this shloka and the next shloka, there is reference to a lot of Puranic stories or Puranic incidents which are connected in these two shlokas. We are going to see them today. Okay, so let me chant this, and today between Nitya and Abhiraman, who wants to go with me? Nitya, you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, Ravi. Yeah.
Okay. See, the first two lines, okay, make the first two lines of the shlokas here, they make one line. So typically when we are chanting, we should not really split it. You would have seen, like, even when I try to record it, I have made, like typically we make like every line we make 2 padas, right? And then we go, right? Here we just made it as a 3 only. I mean, like the first and 2 instead of 4, we made it as 3 because we cannot really split in any way we like, right? But for the sake of chanting and learning it, we just split it in 3. So today I am going to do the same way here. Okay, Pulindesha Kanya, okay, Gana Bhoga Tungasta Nalinga Nasakta Kashmira Ragam. Like that, I'm going to break it into 4 today. But actually, it should be saying Pulindesha Kanya Gana Bhoga Tungasta Nalinga Nasakta Kashmira Ragam. Like that, we will chant. Okay. Okay, let me chant it. Okay, I'm gonna chant it like exactly like what we did in learning. Okay. Pulindesha Kanya Ghana Bhoga.
Pulindesha Kanya Gana Bhoga. Pulindesha Kanya Gana Bhoga.
Okay, Kanya Ghana Bhoga. Okay. Pulindesha Kanya Ghana Bhoga.
Pulindesha Kanya Gana Bhoga. पुलिन्देश कन्या घना भोग
Tungastanalinganaasakta
तुङ्गस्तनालिङ्गनासक्त तुङ्गस्तनालिङ्गनासक्त
Kashmiraragam
काश्मीररागं काश्मीररागं
Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha.
नमस्याम्यहं तारकारे तवोरः नमस्याम्यहं तारकारे तवोरः
Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam.
स्वभक्तावने सर्वदा सानुरागं स्वभक्तावने सर्वदा सानुरागं.
Okay, even I didn't, like split it typically the way I do. Okay, so let's just chant it once again. Okay.
Okay.
Pulindesha kanya ghana bhoga.
पुलिन्देश कन्या घना भोग पुलिन्देश कन्या घना भोग
Tungastanalinganaasakta
तुङ्गस्तनालिङ्गनासक्त तुङ्गस्तनालिङ्गनासक्त
Kashmiraragam
काश्मीररागं काश्मीररागं
Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha.
नमस्याम्यहं तारकारे तवोरः नमस्याम्यहं तारकारे तवोरः
Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam.
स्वभक्तावने सर्वदा सानुरागं स्वभक्तावने सर्वदा सानुरागम्.
Okay. So you want me to chant full line once? Let's try it. Okay. Pulindesha kanya ghana bhoga tungastana lingana sakta kashmira ragam.
पुलिन्देश कन्या घना भोग तुङ्गस्तनालिङ्ग नासक काश्मीर रागम. Let me try again. पुलिन्देश कन्या घना भोग तुङ्गस्तनालिङ्ग नासक्त काश्मीर रागम.
Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam.
नमस्याम्यहं तारकारे तवोरः स्वभक्तावने सर्वदा सानुरागं नमस्याम्यहं तारकारे तवोरः स्वभक्तावने सर्वदा सानुरागम्.
Okay. So let us look at the Padachedaha. See, I am doing like this because I know that, some people may think that Sanskrit is very difficult or something like that. Even for me, it was like that. Especially it has like a lot of compound words. But one of the major things when we chant any shloka is if we are able to meditate on the meaning. Okay, that is like a really good way of like remembering the purpose of the shloka, right? I mean, how to remember Muruga, how to remember, like the meaning of the shloka will automatically take us to a form. And then we will be like visualizing the form and then going from there, right? So for that reason, it is always better to know the meanings, right? So like different, so if you chant all the 32 shlokas and if you meditate on all the meanings, okay, maybe like the entire, because we are chanting fast, it is not that we are going to be like meditating on everything what the shloka says. At least partly, if we just pick it up and our mind glosses through it, that is like a good meditation practice also, right? So that is one of the reasons I am trying to, like give the meaning as much as possible and also any purport behind the shloka. Okay. So in this shloka, in the Padachedaha, if you see, I said that the first two lines is one long word. Okay. Pulindesha kanya ghana bhoga tungastana lingana sakta kashmira ragam is actually Pulinda, Isha, Kanya, Ghana, Abhoga, Tunga, Sthana, Alingana, Asakta, Kashmira, Ragam. Actually, Kashmira Ragam I have combined there, but actually it is like 11 words there. Okay. Namasyami, Aham, which is Namasyamyaham becomes Namasyami Aham. Tarakare becomes Taraka Are. Okay. Tava Uraha means Tavoraha means Tava Uraha. Swabhaktavane, Swabhakta Avane. Sarvada is one word, Sarvada. Sa Anuragam, Sa Anuragam. Actually, there is a small mistake here. There should be like a line. Sa Anuragam, Sa Anuragam. Okay. So this is the actual Padacheda of this. So what exactly does he say in the Anvaya, the prose order? Okay. He Tarakare. So the Tarakare is the word here. Okay. So you are addressing Subrahmanya as He Tarakare. Taraka Are. Ari means enemy. Okay. Are means, like, you are calling out, right? The Sambodhana. Like or Hey Rama, Hey Sita, like that. Hey Are, like that it goes. Okay. Ari is enemy. Tarakare means the enemy of Taraka. Okay, that is what it is. And then I always said we will look at the Kriyapada. So the Kriyapada is Namasyami. I am doing Namaskara. Okay, Namasyami goes with Aham. Aham means I. Okay, because of that first person. Aham Namasyami. Okay, what do I do Namaskara to? Tava Uraha. Your chest region. Marbu we say in Tamil, right? Tava Uraha. Okay. I am doing namaskaram to Tava Uraha. What is it? Like how does your Tava Uraha, how does it look? Swabhakta Avane Sarvada Sanuragam. Swabhakta Avane. Swabhakta means your bhaktas. Annudaya bhaktargal, okay, your own bhaktas, swabhaktas. Sarvada, all the time. Sa Anuragam. Okay. Sa Anuragam means it is showing compassion. So the chest, it contains heart. Okay, the heart is behind the chest. So because of that, he has a compassionate heart. Like that we can say. That Anuraga also means red. Okay. Sa Anuraga means like it is even more red. It is, Sa is like a prefix which is added. Even better, like nice. Okay. It is nicely red, you can say. It is nicely compassionate also. Okay. So there are two meanings. We are going to see that. Okay. Swabhakta Avane. So I missed Avane. Avane means protect. So we have heard in many shlokas, right now I can think of like the Ganapati Atharva Sirsha where they say, Avatu Mam, Avatu Bhaktaram, we say, right? So Avatu means protect. Sahanavavatu. So Avatu means protect. Okay, so Avane comes from that. Swabhakta Avane. So he who is trying to protect his bhaktas, right? So for that reason, all the time he wants to protect Sa Anuragam. So it is red in color. Because the heart is in the chest. Okay. So it is compassionate. Okay, so the chest is connected to the heart here, and it is always worried about protecting the his own bhaktas. Okay, but he is also saying, why is it red? Okay, so Anuragam means here we will take it as red, right? But why is it red? Okay, it is red because of the Kashmira Ragam. Kashmira means saffron, Kungumappu in Tamil, right? So saffron is red in color. Kashmira Ragam. Ragam is red. So the saffron red, that is a kind of redness. It is there on his chest right now. But why? Alingana Asakta. Alingana means hugging. Asakta means attached. The redness of Kashmira Raga was attached to his chest. And because of that, it is red. Okay. Because he hugged. Who did he hug? Alingana. Okay, he hugged someone, and because of that hug, that Kashmira raga, the redness of the saffron got attached, and it is red in color, and it is also looking, that redness is kind of like also like looking, he is worried, or sarvada swabhakta avane, how am I going to protect my bhaktas? Like that it's kind of like reddish hue. It is showing on his chest, he says. So he says, Pulindesha Kanya. Pulindesha Kanya means, Pulinda means hunter. Pulinda Isha, the head of the hunter clan, okay, his daughter, Kanya is the daughter. So here he is mentioning Valli. So we know that Valli was born to the hunter clan. We call it like Kurati Mahal, because in many places in Tirupugar, they mention as Kurati. So Kurati, we know Kurati, but I don't know how Kurati becomes hunter. But I think all these were related earlier. Okay. So for that reason, it's called Pulindesha Kanya, the head of the Pulinda clan. Okay. His daughter, okay, was Valli. So he hugged Valli. Okay. By hugging Valli, he got it. But he's giving even more little bit, like more about Valli. He's talking Ghana, Abhoga, Tunga, Sthana. Actually, the Valli's bosom, it was covered with saffron. Okay, like she has the purpose, like women put kumkumam, right? Like that, saffron. She has been adorning saffron, and that saffron came to his chest. So it is said Ghana Abhoga Tunga, means he is saying the firm, curved, and large bosom of Valli. From there, by Subrahmanya hugging Valli, the Kashmira ragam, the redness of the saffron got attached to his chest. And now his chest, okay, is Sanuragam. It is red in color. It is also compassionate because of the heart. Towards whom? Sarvada, it is always compassionate. Swabhakta avane, for protecting his bhaktas. So that Muruga, that chest of Muruga, Tava Uraha, Aham Namasyami. I am doing Namaskara here. So here, what we really need to understand is, we are going to talk more on the next shloka also about the Purana stories that are related about Valli. But here, let me give a small thing like what Mahaperiva says when he was explaining this shloka, Subrahmanya Namaste, to Ariyakudi. Okay. So he has given like complete explanation. Actually, it is there in the internet also. So in one of the places, I remember reading when he is talking about Valli. Actually, even in Daivatin Kural, it is there, many portions, but I have not really read it now. It's just a little bit from my past memory, I'm trying to quote, but I think, it's a good idea for me to go back and read this while we are discussing Subrahmanya Bhujangam. So there he says, Valli is the concept of Jivatma. Okay, so we are all Jivatmas, and Subrahmanya is Paramatma. So the Paramatma, Jivatma, okay, we know that the Paramatma is karma rahitaha. He does not have any karma. Okay. And whereas Jivatma is karma sahitaha. Jivatma is always with karma. So we need to be very careful what karma we do and follow, right? But Paramatma is karma rahitaha, right? But what Paramatma is thinking is how to raise this Jivatma. Like how to bring up the Jivatma and make the Jivatma come towards Paramatma. How am I going to get my bhakta towards me? Okay, I want to get my bhakta towards me. I am really worried, like about my bhakta. He went away from me because of Maya. And how did Maya come back? Like that could be a lot of discussions around that. But the thing is, because of Maya, the Jivatma and the Paramatma is separated, and the Jiva is surrounded by ignorance. And by removing the ignorance, the Maya will go away, and we will see Paramatma in us. Okay, the Paramatma is in the heart, right? So here what it really means is Bhagavan wants to hug us. Bhagavan is worried about us. His compassion is there always. See, he is worried. Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam. He is worried, and like little bit because of his blood pressure or whatever. So Tediyur Subrahmanya Shastri, he says that his chest is showing that worry, and that is why it is red in color, he says. So the concept here is basically Subrahmanya is hugging Valli means Subrahmanya is hugging us. So he is the only Purusha. All other people, actually there is, in Krishna Avadara, they say Krishna is the only Purusha and everybody else is a woman. Okay. Everybody else is Prakriti. That is the concept of Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha is the spirit and Prakriti is nature. Like that we say. And Purusha is also the male and everything else is a female. Okay. So in Krishna Avadara, the concept goes that way, that Krishna was the only male and everybody else was a female. Okay. And that is why the Rasa Leela and everything should be looked at from that particular angle. Right. There is a beautiful story in the life of Mirabai. Okay, we know that, like she was married to a king, and then eventually, the king's kith and kin tried to tell him that she was not a good wife because she is always constantly thinking of Krishna, she's chanting or something like that. He needs to get rid of her. So to that extent, people gave advice. So the king also tries a little bit, and because he was kind of in their fold, but eventually realized that she was a great yogini and a great devotee of Krishna, Lord Hari. And then he also tries to follow her eventually. But in one time, what happens is she goes to Vrindavan. So at one time the king asks, what is it, you want? I have not really, taken care of you very well. You asked me for a temple. I built a temple for you. So you are doing puja in the temple. And then one time, Akbar visits her in the form of a ordinary person, nobody knows. But after Akbar and Tansen, both of them visited. And when they left, then somebody goes and tells the king, you see, Akbar came. And what Akbar did was he comes there and then he gives a gift to her of one of the malas he was wearing, like a golden mala or a pearl necklace or something like that. He gives it to her. She immediately gives it to Krishna. So the king comes and then he knows it is Akbar's thing and then he gets wild, but she says, I don't know who it is. But anyway, the king, her husband becomes, like a little bit calm. And then finally he asks her and she says, I want to go to Vrindavan. I want to, where Krishna lived and all that. So she goes there and there were several sadhus there. I'm not exactly remembering the name of one sadhu who was a great saint at that time. But he will not see any women. Okay. His thing was he will not see any women. So Mirabai is looking at all the saints and everybody. And then when she is outside his ashrama, she expresses her desire to go and meet him. I think his name was Ramananda or something like that. Okay. And then Ramananda's Sishyas, they go and ask the Guru and he says, no, I will not meet a woman. Okay, because I'm in tremendous brahmacharya like that he taught. But he was a great, very accomplished yogi and accomplished devotee of Krishna too. Then the Sishyas come out and say, oh, the Guru does not want to meet you because you are a woman. So then the punchline, that is what Meera gave. And immediately the Guru came out and met her. What he said was, except for Krishna, who is the only Purusha, everybody else is a woman. I don't understand how your Guru claims to be a Purusha himself. You go and tell this to your guru. I'm going to leave, she says. So they go and tell this to the guru, and the guru immediately comes and runs out and then meets with her. So the concept is Bhagavan is the only Purusha. He is the only supreme person. Everybody else is not a Purusha. Okay, we are all women like that. So the concept of the man and the woman needs to be understood from that perspective. The Purusha and Prakriti, like the female nature, because Prakriti is female nature, Prakriti is Ambal, Purusha is Shiva. Okay, Shiva and Shakti, like that we say, right? Prakriti is in the form of energy. All matter is in the form of energy. Like that, like we always think about it. The spirit in us is Purusha. Once we understand the Purusha, the Prakriti, the energy side of it goes away. So we know who we are, right? So like that in this shloka, the way it needs to be understood is the Jivatma and the Paramatma Aikya. It is like something related to the concept of Advaita here. The Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam is what he is talking about, hugging of Valli. Okay, here. So anyway, that said, let us go to the next shloka. Vidhau klipta dandan.
Vidhau klipta tandan. Vidhau klipta tandan.
Vidhau klipta dandan. The.
Vidhau klipta dandan. Vidhau klipta dandan.
இல்ல அது வந்து கிளிப்த கிளிப்த அதெல்லாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதெல்லாம் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளிப்த தண்டான் தண்டான்
Dandan.
விதௌ அது ஃபோர்த் தவ பிரஸ் பண்ணணும் விதௌ கிளிப்த தண்டான்
Vidhau klipta
தண்டான்
screening you put. Yeah, got it back. Vidhau klipta dandan.
yeah
Vidhau klipta dandan. Vidhau klipta dandan.
okay the second part is swalila dhritandan
Swalila dhridandan. Swalila dhridandan.
swalila dhritandan dhru
Swalila
fourth
dhridanda.
இல்ல
Swalila
தாண்டான்
Swalila
தாண்டான்
Tandan. Ta.
தாண்டான் yeah
Okay. Swalila dhritandan. Swalila dhritandan.
இல்ல தாண்டான்னு சொல்லுங்க ஸ்வலீலாதிர தாண்டான்
Dandan. Okay.
so
Swalila
the
dhritandan.
yeah this in
Dhritandan.
yeah sorry to interrupt there this in should go here swalíladra tandan
Swalila dhritandan.
okay
Swalila dhritandan.
அடுத்தது இதிலே இருந்து ஆரம்பிக்க போறேன் I'm going to start from niraste bha sundan
Niraste bha sun. அது என்னது?
sha like shiva shunda
Sundana.
yeah.
But you pronounce it as sa or sha?
இல்ல sa இல்ல sha
Sa.
yeah like shiva சொல்லுவாங்க
Niraste bha shundan.
yes shundan yeah
Niraste bha shundan. Niraste bha shundan.
dvishat kaladandan
Dvishat kaladandal. Dvishat kaladandan. Dvishat kaladandan.
okay next line we are going to split it hatendrari shandanja shaundan அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம் if you can say that one word like that inja you can use or we are going to do like this hatendrari shandan
Hatendrari shandan. Hatendrari shandan.
Jagatrana Shaundan.
Jagatrana Shaundan. Jagatrana Shaundan.
Sadate Prachandan.
Sadate Prachandan. Sadate Prachandan.
Shraye Bahudandan.
Shraye Bahudandan. Shraye Bahudandan.
Okay, now I will try the whole line, okay? Vidhau Kliptadandan Swalila Dhruthandan.
Vidhau Kliptadandan. Swalila Dhrudandan. Vidhau Kliptadandan. Swalila Dhrudandan.
Niraste Bhashundan Dvishat Kaladandan.
Niraste Bhashundan. Vishatkaladandan. Niraste Bhashundan. Tvishatkaladandan.
Hatendra Arishandan Jagatrana Shaundan.
Hatendradi Jagatrana Shaundan. Hatendradi Jagatrana Shaundan.
Sadate Prachandan Shraye Bahudandan.
Sadate Prachandan Shraye Bahudandan. Sadate Prachandan Shraye Bahudandan.
Okay, so we saw that in the 9th shloka, he was talking about Pada Padma, and then he talked about the Kati, the hip portion, in the 10th shloka. In the 11th shloka, he talked about the chest region, which we saw today. And then in this 12th shloka, he is talking about the hands. Okay. Now, Bahu means hands. Subrahmanya is having 12 hands. Okay. So, he is basically like Shanmukha, right? For all the 6 faces, we are counting 2 hands, and then we are talking about 12 hands. Okay. So that is what we are talking in the shloka right now. Let us do the Padacheda, and then we will go. Vidhau Klipta Dandan. There are 2 words. Swalila Dhrita Andan. Actually, we can even say there are 4 words. Swalila Dhrita Andan. Swalila Dhrita Andan. And the third one, Nirasta Ibha Shundan. Nirastebha Shundan becomes Nirasta Ibha Shundan. 3 words there. Dvishat Kaladandan, which is Dvishat Kaladandan. Hatendra Ari Shandan becomes Hata Indra Ari Shandan. 4 words there. Jagat Trana Shaundan. Jagat Trana Shaundan. 3 words. Okay. Sada Te Prachandan. Those are independent words, no problem. Shraye Bahudandan. So the last line is almost like one word each. But then the rest of the things, it is all combined. Right? So Vidhau Kliptadandan, Swalila Dhrita Andan, Nirasta Ibha Shundan, Dvishat Kaladandan, Hata Indra Ari Shandan, Jagat Trana Shaundan, Sada Te Prachandan, Shraye Bahu Dandan. See how beautiful it is? Like so rhyming. So, He Shanmukha. It is understood here. Okay. The Anvaya, we are going to go like this. He Shanmukha. He is addressing Muruga here. Vidhau Klipta Dandan. Swalila Dridhandan. I'm going to explain each one of them. But what he says, Sada Shraye. So Shraye we have seen. Shrayamo Guhantam we saw in 7th shloka. Shrayamo, there he used it in the plural. Shraya means I am taking refuge. Shrayamo means we are taking refuge, but here he is directly using it in singular first person. Shraye. Aham. The aham is implied, right? Aham sada shraye. I am always taking refuge. Sada, all the time. Taking refuge. Where? Te bahudandan. Your bahu means hand. Dandan typically means like a stick, right? Dandam we say, right? Periva has a dandam. That is like a stick. See, this bahudandan means the hand like a stick. It's not meant to be like that. Bahudandan typically talks about long hands. Okay. See, we talk about Ajanu Bahu, right? When we talk about Ramam, okay, we talk about Ajanu Bahum, Aravinda Dalayadaksham, Ramam, Nishasha Karam Namami, like that shloka goes. Ajanu Bahum, Aravinda Dalayadaksham. Aravinda Dalayadaksham, the lotus eyed Rama is having Ajanu Bahu. Janu means your knee, Murangal. Okay. So the hands which come up to the Murangal or knee is called Ajanu Bahu. So that is one of the Samudrika Lakshanas. Okay. For the Samudrika Lakshana, for the men, is to have long hands. That is what it means. Bahu Dandan are those long hands. In your long hands, Aham Sada Shraye, I am taking refuge. Prachandan. What does Prachandan means? Prachandan is very fierce, powerful. So powerful typically for the enemies, because here we are talking about a lot of enemies in the first few 3 lines. Okay, so it could mean fierce for the enemies. Okay, so let us look at this. He Shanmukha, Vidhau Klipta Dandan, Te Bahudandan, Aham Sada Shraye. Rather than the first line, I am taking only this portion. Okay, Vidhau Klipta Dandan, Te Bahudandan, Aham Sada Shraye. Swalila Dhritandan, Te Bahudandan, Aham Sada Shraye. Niraste Bashundan, Te Bahudandan, Aham Sada Shraye. Like that, with each one of these words, we can attach this. That is the word. That is the way we should look at it. He Shanmukha, Vidhau Klipta Dandan. Vidhi means Brahma. Brahma has multiple words. So Vidhi. So Tala Vidhi Ezhidiptaravar. That is why it is. That is why we call it Vidhi. So because it comes from him, what Vidhi writes is also Vidhi. Okay, what Brahma writes is Vidhi. So that is how we got our Vidhi. So Vidhau towards Brahma. Klipta Dandan. Dandan means punishment. That punishment which was applied towards Brahma. Okay, we are going to see that. Okay, what it is. Te Bahudandan Aham Sada Shraye. To those fears, to those hands, I am always taking refuge. Okay, like that. We have to take like that. Okay, so Vidhau Klipta Dandan means those hands which exercised punishment in Brahma, towards Brahma. Then Swa Leela Drita Andan. So we saw it as Swalila Drita Andan. Andan means, like Anda we say egg in Hindi, but basically Anda means like, like Brahmandam means it is like an egg. That is why Anda got its name, right? So Andan means like egg. But here we need to look at it. Drita Andan. Andan is plural. It is not one Andan. What Brahma is managing is Brahmanda. This is not one Brahmanda. This is not one universe we are talking. We are talking of multiverses because of the plural. See, the Sanskrit has that such a beauty. The singular, dual, and plural. There are 2 types of plurals. Dual. Dual means just for 2 people or 2 things, you use that word. And plural is for more than 2. So this is like completely multiverses, not one universe. Drita. Drita means one who bears them, one who is holding them or bears. Actually, the right word is to like bear, right? Tangikarad, right? Dhritandan. One who is like holding or bearing all these multiverses. Swalila. With his own Leela. It is his Leela, like it is not like something very difficult for him, like the Greek mythology, where this person, Hercules, like we have seen the pictures and some kind of statues here and there, where Hercules tries to carry that with great difficulty, right? The work. This is Swalila, just like, like it's like a sport for him. It's like a play. Dhrita Andan, he is carrying all that. So when Krishna, who is Ishvara, actually here Subrahmanya is Ishvara. That is the beauty of Adi Shankara, right? In any shloka he talks, he immediately takes Brahman into that form of that deity. If he is talking about Vishnu, he will praise Vishnu as that supreme entity. If he is talking about Shiva, that Shiva is the supreme entity. Devi is the supreme entity. Likewise, he is Subrahmanya is the supreme entity, Ishvara. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was the supreme entity. He was showing his Vishwarupa Darshana, right? They say in chapter 11, where Krishna was showing his Vishwarupa to Arjuna. What Arjuna saw and explained was, he's seeing multiple Brahmas, multiple Vishnus, multiple Rudras in that form of Krishna. So that is the cosmic form. So it is like a play for him, right? Swalila Dhritandan. Okay, he is carrying all this like in the cosmic form. That is what is. Then Nirasta Ibha Shundan. Ibha means elephant. Shundan is trunk. Nirasta, he controls the trunk of an elephant. Okay, Nirasta Ibha Shundan. We're going to see the story associated with this shloka. Okay, then Dvishat Kaladandan. Dvishat means like enemies. Okay, Kaladandan, he is like Yama. Kala is Yama. So Yama Danda is, like it always Yama, it is said, he's called Dharmaraja. He just, he just goes by the rule. He doesn't have any likes and dislikes. Boom. If he has to apply the rule, he applies it, right? Like that, the Kala Dandan will come on all of us because the time is moving. So Yamadanda will fall. So he is like the Yamadanda for all the enemies. That is one way you can take. Dvishat Kala Dandan. He punished Yama. Okay. He is like, like he was a Kala, he was Dvishat Kala. The Yama himself is like an enemy, right? Dandan, he punished him. Where? He punished him during the story of Markandeya. We all know the famous story of Markandeya, right? Where Shiva punished him. That story goes like that. But in Skanda Purana, it said, Subrahmanya is the one who gave the power to Shiva to punish Yama. Like that, the story goes in Skanda Purana. So anyway, Dushat Kala Dandan. And there is no difference between Subrahmanya and Shiva. So that way, he punished Yama, like that you can take. And then he is Yama to all his enemies, like that also you can take. Okay. Here, enemies means we need not really think that, he is going to do all this, like killing and see, it's not like that, right? Most of these enemies which we are talking, all the Rakshasas and everything, it is all in us. It is our own internal enemies. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryam, the 6 internal enemies we say. And then there are other enemies. Okay, so we are our own enemy. All the enemies are within us. So he is an Yama to all the enemies. That is how I would take it, right? Then the next one is Hatendrari Shandan. Hatha Indra Ari Shandan. Like we saw even in the last shloka, Ari means enemy. Indra Ari. Indra Ari means the enemies of Indra, who are typically Rakshasas. So when it comes to the avadhara of Subrahmanya, we have to think like Taraka, Simhavaktra, and like there are like a few more. Those were the ones like Subrahmanya, like fought over, right? So those are the enemies here. Indra Ari, those enemies. Hatha, he destroyed them. Okay. Shandan. Shandan is a very unique word here. it is typically, it is used for napumsaka. Napumsaka, we know what napumsaka is, okay. But that is one word, one meaning. But napumsaka is something like, which does not have the strength. It is like very weak in nature. So what Subrahmanya did was, Indra Ari, all, like those Rakshasas were Indra's enemies and they were very powerful. And they even like jailed Indra's son. When it comes to Subrahmanya, those Rakshasas are weak. Okay, they are Napumsakas. They don't have any power before the strength of Subrahmanya. Hatendrari Shandan. Then Jagat Trana Shaundan. 3 words there. So Jagat is, we know, the world. It could be this world or multiverses, like I said earlier. Jagat Trana. Trana means again to protect. Shaundan. He is adept. He is capable. He is extremely skillful. He is extremely skillful in protecting all the worlds or all the Jagat. So in the first word, we saw Swalila Drithandan. He is carrying them easily with his sword. Here, he is Jagat Trana Shaundan. He is an adept in protecting them. Prachandan. He is very fierce, powerful. That powerful arms, te bahudandan, those aham sada shraye. So we are basically meditating on the arms of Subrahmanya. So before I go a little bit further on that, let us look at this storyline here, what Shankara took from the Puranas. Okay. What Sri Bhagavad Bhada took from the Puranas. Vidhau klipta dandan. He punished Brahma. When did this happen? Even in 3rd shloka, we saw this thing, like Mahadeva Balam. For that, I explained the meaning in 2 ways. He is the son of Mahabala. Sorry, he is the son of Mahadeva. He made Mahadeva as a Bala, so he is Mahadeva Bala, like that. We just saw the word in 2 ways, the meaning in 2 ways. So that was the occasion. So what happened was, once Brahma comes to Kailasa to meet Parameshwara. At that time, Subrahmanya is playing with his 9 brothers. Okay, the 9 brothers are, we are not talking about Ganesha here. They are called the Navaviras. So, like in, when he's fighting this war with, like Simhavatra and Tarakasura and all that, we hear of these names like Veerabahu, Veerakesari, and there are 9 names which starts with the name Veera. Okay, so those are called the 9 brothers. They are in Kailasa. He's just playing with them. He was like a child. At that time, what happened was, Brahma enters and he ignores all these kids. Then he goes and meets Parameshwara and Parvati, and then he comes back. So when he comes back, Subrahmanya asks him, why did you enter Kailasa without my permission? I am playing here and you didn't even tell me, but you entered it. So the story goes like this. Brahma thought, oh, you're a child. Why should I tell you? Okay. I am the master of all the Vedas. Okay, Vedas come from my mouth like that. So then he says, okay, if that is the case, can you tell me the meaning of the word Vedas, the meaning of the word pranava? Like that he goes, right? That that sound. Actually, we have seen this story earlier also. Then Brahma was not able to say that, and he puts Brahma in jail. Then Nandikeshwara comes and, like Brahma asks Nandikeshwara to release him. So he goes, like Nandikeshwara goes and tries to recommend. And Subrahmanya says no. Then Shiva intervenes. And Bhagavan Shiva intervenes. He says, okay, I will release him. But do you know the meaning of Pranava? He asks his father. And Shiva says, why don't you tell me? And that is the time he became Mahadeva Bala, right? So at that time, what happened? He not only arrested Brahma and put him in prison, he also asked his brother Veera Kesari to take care of Brahma's job. So Veera Kesari was the one who was doing Srishti at that time. So anyway, that then Brahma was released and everything was normalized, right? That is without Lipta Dandan. So it is those hands which punished Brahma. Then Swalila Drithandan we saw. Okay. Then Nirasta Ibha Shundan. Nirasta Ibha Shundan, it basically controlled, right? The trunk of an elephant. What is this elephant? When did this happen? So again, we have to go back to the story of Valli here. So Indra had two daughters. Okay. He got it by tremendous tapas. He did tremendous tapas. He got two daughters. The names of the daughters were Sundaravalli and Anandavalli. It is also said that these two daughters were originally of Vishnu. Okay. Because Vishnu took another form called Upendra. Vishnu was helping Indra at some time as an assistant to Indra, Upa Indra. Okay. He is second to Indra. And he had two daughters, and then it is said that Indra himself got it through tapas, got them through tapas. Their names were Sundaravalli and Anandavalli. And they went to Kailasa and they had taken a vow of brahmacharya. They decided not to marry and they want to be they want to follow the brahmacharya. And they were in Kailasa and they were seeking mantra in Kailasa. From Subrahmanya, it is said. So Subrahmanya appears before them and then he gives them the Sadakshari mantra, Sharavana Bhava. That mantra he gives both of them. And both of them are, tremendously meditating on that mantra. At one point, Subrahmanya comes there, he is a guru, right? So as a guru, he comes and then he says, hey, give me Guru Dakshina. Actually, they themselves asked, okay, like as a guru, you have given us this mantra. So what is the Guru Dakshina we should give you? So at that time, Subrahmanya says, okay, I want you to marry me. That is the Guru Dakshina you can give me. Acharyaya Priyam Dhanamahritya. There is a Shastra Vakya. It means whatever the Acharya is asking, you need to consider that as wealth and give it to him. Give it to the Acharya. Okay, so here what happens is they were wondering what to do right now. Our Vrata Bhanga is going to happen, right? Because he's asking us to marry and we are in this vow of brahmacharya. Okay. So then both were thinking about it. At that time, what happened is Anandavalli. Okay. Anandavalli is saying, okay, I will marry you because Gurur Vachanam Aushadam. Whatever Guru says, we have to follow. We have to stop. If you are doing something and the Guru is coming and saying, you stop and do me this, so immediately you should return to the Guru. So let us say you are doing puja very sincerely. Suddenly Guru comes, suddenly Periva comes. And then say, hey, you come here. I want you to do this. So you stop the puja and then you attend to the Guru. That is what it says. That is what the Shastras say. Even Manu Smriti says that. So this person, Anandavalli, she immediately accepted. And because she accepted it, she is also called Swarnavalli, okay? And she was Devasena, okay? She was actually, I think they may have had multiple births, okay? As Vishnu's daughters, then Indra's daughters and so on. So these names are coming from there. So Devasena, okay, was the name of her because she was born to Indra. So then what happens when Subrahmanya goes into war? Okay, nothing happens at that time. He says, okay. So you keep doing your japa, we will think about it. Like that he says, right? So the marriage did not happen right away. So then Subrahmanya goes, like he had a purpose. He was brought into this world because he had to go and fight Tarakasura and others. That was the boon which was given to them. That only the son of Shiva can, fight them and kill them. That is why Subrahmanya was also came into this earth, right? As a fawn. So he had to finish his work before marriage. So he waited until Surapadma and everything and all the Asuras were destroyed in Jayantipuram, which is Tiruchendur. Okay. And then there is a place near Tiruchendur called Parachala Kshetra. There he married Devasena. So Indra gives his daughter to Subrahmanya, that is Devasena. So this is there in Skanda Mahapurana, and this happened on the Panguni Uttiram. Okay, that is what we call Panguni Uttiram. That day the marriage happened. But what happened to this Sundaravalli? This Sundaravalli, okay, she did not accept marrying Subrahmanya. But because of the Shastra Vakya, she had to take another birth. At a lower birth, it is said. Okay. So she became a human being, and she was born in the clan of these hunters, and the daughter, Pulindesha Kanya, we talked, right? So she was born as the daughter of the hunter's king, like the ruler of the hunter kingdom, right? They used to have all this millets. They used to grow all these millets. So in Tamil, we say like Sholam, Kambu, Tinai and all that, right? Those kind of like millets, they were growing. So she used to stay there and take care of the millets along with other girls of her age and her sisters of her age. That is what her job was. Okay. But what happened was she had the smarana of the Shadakshari mantra. She remembered that she did a bad mistake by refusing to accept what the Guru asked, the Subrahmanya asked. And she remembered that because of that, she got her human birth. And she wanted to somehow marry Subrahmanya in this birth. She was constantly thinking about her, thinking about Muruga. So every day morning, she takes her bath. She immediately starts chanting the Shadakshari mantra and everything, like what we do Sandhya Vandana. She does that. Even though she was not born in the Brahmakula, she remembered her mantra and she used to do that. Okay. And then her father will assign the job. Go ahead and take care of our, our land and the farm and all that. She used to go there along with other girls, and then she there, right? At that time, what happens is Subrahmanya, he wanted to bless her. He wanted to bless her, so he comes there. You know the story. He comes there in the form of an old man. And then he asks her to marry her. So she does not recognize that old man as Subrahmanya. She says, I cannot marry you. Then Subrahmanya asks his brother to help. So Pulayar, Ganesha takes the form of an elephant and he comes and scares Valli. Okay. And then Valli, she... so in that story, what happens is Valli is afraid. She surrenders to Subrahmanya. But Ganesha, actually Subrahmanya goes and he controls the vigor of that elephant. That is what it is said. Nirasta Ibha Shundan. Okay. He goes and controls the trunk of the elephant. Nirasta Ibha Shundan. On that same story, we also, now going back to the previous story, so he marries Valli here, right? Then Valli accepts to marry him, and then Shanmuka shows his original form to her and to all, all her clan, everybody, and then he marries them as per their customs. Okay, that is the Valli story, and that is the time he hugs her and that was in the previous shloka. Okay, so this is what Nirasteba Shundan. Dvishatkala Dandan is, I said, two meanings. One is he is Yama to his enemies. The second one is he was punishing Yama, like the Markandeya story. Okay, Hatendrari Shandan, we saw that he destroyed all the weak enemies. Actually, the enemies were strong. The enemies of Indra were strong, but when it comes to Subrahmanya, they were weak. That is what it is. Hatendrari Shandan, Jagatrana Shaundan. Okay, he is very particular. He is capable and adept of protecting all the worlds. Powerful, he is powerful. Prachandan. Okay, those powerful, fierce hands of Subrahmanya, I am taking refuge. Okay, that is what the shloka says. Actually, we have gone beyond an hour, but let me just say a couple of things and then we'll end this class today. So we hear the shlokas, right, called Karavalamba shloka. Like, for example, Adi Shankaracharya made a shloka on Nrisimha, Lakshmi Nrisimha, right? Srimat Payo Nidhi Nikedana Chakrapani Bhogindra Bhoga Maniranjita Punyamurte Yogisha Shashwata Sharanya Bhavabdhipoda Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam, it says. So this is the time when the Kapalika comes to behead Shankara, and when Padmapadacharya appears there, and then he kills the Kapalika, and Lakshmi Nrasimha appears there. Okay, because he told Padmapada in his birth that he will come and show him his form, and that was the time. At that time, Sri Shankaracharya makes this shloka on Lakshmi Nrasimha. But the point is about this particular shloka is about Lakshmi Nrasimha. Hey Lakshmi Nrasimha, Mama Dehi Karavalambam. Mama Karavalambam Dehi. Karavalambam means you lift me with your hands. Okay. So there are multiple Karavalambana stotras, but this one is very famous because it is made by Shankaracharya himself. So the Karavalamba means you just lift me. Actually, there is one beautiful Karavalamba shloka on Mahaperiva also. Pratasmarami, like that it will go. So please lift me with your hand. So like a child takes the hand of the father and the father protects it. You know, from going here and there, the father takes it on the right path and the father takes it wherever, takes the child wherever he goes. Like that, the Karavalamana Stotra is made. Okay, so it has a beautiful meaning. So this particular shloka itself is the Karavalamana for Subrahmanya. Just chanting this shloka, meditating on the hands of Subrahmanya, okay, we get protected. We get the best protection of everything. When you are in trouble, when you are, you know, like in any kind of like mental distress, physical distress, fear due to, you know, like you are walking downtown, suddenly you are seeing some people approaching you, you don't know, like, you know, whether they are good or bad, you chant this shloka. So his hands will come and protect you. So that is the beauty of this shloka. And I'm going to stop here. Okay, sorry for just taking a little bit over time. Do you have any questions? I'm going to stop the recording now. Do you have any questions, anybody?